Alright guys, so this right here is a video that I have been wanting to make for a very long time. Today is January the 3rd, 2022. It's a brand new year, and for me this is just has to be a year of healing and wholeness. And I'm just gonna go ahead and put this thing out there because this thing has been keeping me burdened for a very long time, and it's just I have to get this, off of me. Like I can no longer go on like this. So please bear with me. I may get a little excited because this particular situation, I have had anxiety attacks behind it, panic attacks, get very anxious about it. So just bear with me. I'm going to try to get through this as quick as I can. But we are going to be talking about the time when my mom when she first accused me of having sexual relations with my father. Okay. So around at the time when this was first brought to my attention, it happened at the tender age of 15 for me. And when I was 15 years old, I had a whole child at 15. So I'm a teen mom. I had my daughter when I was 15, and this happened right before my 16th birthday. So I was just in my room a normal day, playing with my baby, feeding my baby. I think I was actually feeding my baby at the time. And my mom stormed in my room. My daddy stormed in right behind her. And she was like, what the H? I'm not going to curse because I want this video to be able to be put out so that you can see it. I don't want it to get took down or banned or anything. She was like, what the H is going on? I know y'all MFers been effing. I know this and I know that. Now, mind you, this situation is brand new to me. This is the first time that I'm hearing any of this, so I'm going crazy like, what the heck is going on here? So she's all up in my face. She's screaming. She's yelling. My daddy is right there. He's screaming and he's yelling. And I'm clueless. I'm sitting here 15 years old, preparing for my 16th birthday, feeding my daughter, and just, doing something on a normal day. And here come my parents with this type of bomb. The bomb been dropped on me, y'all. I didn't even know how to think, how to feel, what to say, what to do. So I left the house. Now, I come from a very big family. I'm the second youngest child of 7 with the loss of my brother. I'm the second youngest. So I have a big family, and it's usually a lot of people at our house, like my brothers and sisters, and they were there that day. And I left the house. I called my boyfriend, the guy that I was dating at the time, and I asked him to come pick me up. He's mad because he's about to go someplace with his friends that he's been planning all that day. And I already didn't want him to go. So he thought that I was just being like that because I didn't want him to go wherever he had planned to go. So he thought that I was just, I guess, being just a brat or something, not wanting him to go wherever he was going. So he came and got me, and he was like really mad because he wanted to go with his friends. I told him what happened, and he dismissed me. He was like, why would you follow that up? If you know that's not true, why would you follow that up? I had plans to do this and I had plans to do that, and now I gotta stay because this is going on, and you know that's not true. So why are you making such a big deal out of this situation? And he did not talk to me. He didn't. I left and went with him that particular night. We went to his mom's house. His mama wouldn't let me. We went to his mom's house. She didn't let us come in the house because she didn't like me. Okay, she didn't like me, so I couldn't come in the house. So me and him and my daughter slept in his truck that night. It was very cold that night. We slept in his truck. He didn't talk to me that whole night. I had already been dealing with all of the stuff that had just happened at my house. He didn't take it seriously. He kind of dismissed me, like he didn't want to hear about it. It wasn't no big deal to him. He don't know why I was following it up, all of this. So, but like I told you, he was just upset because he wanted to go with his friends wherever they were supposed to go. We couldn't get a hotel room that night. I don't know, because of something happened. We couldn't get it. I just know we couldn't get a hotel room. We slept outside his mom's house in his truck. Okay, he didn't talk to me that night. So that's what happened. Ever since then, it was all all kind of chaos going on with my family from that point on. My mother had my brothers and sisters join in and partake in the situation. From what I understand, that night that it actually happened, the accusations happened. From my understanding, one of my brothers had a gun, I guess, towards my father. He didn't use the gun, but I don't know if he actually took the gun out, drew the gun on my dad. I don't know what took place, but I just know there was a gun involved. So my mom could have got one of her family members killed with her foolishness and her nonsense. Meanwhile, she has no proof of what she's saying. She has no reasons to be saying what she's saying. This is just something that she came up with in her head on her own. My daddy is not that type of man. And if he was that type of man, I'm pretty sure he would have been and done those type of things to all of his other kids. He wouldn't wait till his eighth child, because my daddy, he got more kids than my mom. So him and my mama has 7 kids, but he has like a couple other kids. But he wouldn't wait till one of his youngest kids to start molesting his children, if that's what he would have been and did that to every child he had. Okay. So from then on, my brothers and sisters, she banned in with them. She had them watching the house, watching for me. My sister, she played a major role in it. She would come and sit to my apartment for my mama to go out and pay her bills, like when my mama had to go certain places and pay her bills, or go to out shopping or whatever she may had to do. She would send my sister to my house just so my sister know where I'm at, and that way she'll know whether or not I was with my father, somewhere with him. So she would send my sister to my house. She would send my brothers at her house so they can watch her house. All kind of crazy stuff was going on, y'all. They would be working together as a team to try to figure out where I'm at, what I'm doing. And mind you, like I said, I am one of my parents' youngest children. It's me, and then I have a younger sister. We have so many siblings older than us, and I feel like my siblings did not protect me. Had this been a situation that actually happened, nobody was going to do anything about it. My mama was going to still be with this man, not even caring that he had did anything to her child. She didn't care. That showed me that if someone would have done something to harm me, she didn't care. She was going to still be right with her man and hate her child. Now, they worked together as a team. Like I said, they was working together as a team, talking to each other, communicating, watching me, y'all. They watched me like a dog for years. This happened when I was 15 years old. I put an end to it when I was 28 years old. I'm 31 right now. So I finally got tired of it. I had some extra money laying around, so I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and book an appointment to get a lie detector test done. So this happened at 28. At 28, this has been going on since I was 15. At 28 years old, I came to the conclusion, because I see nobody else was going to do it. Now, meanwhile, all the way up until this time, my mom was so nasty to me and my dad. She would tell us stuff like, oh, y'all MF was gonna get showed up for the dirty people y'all is. Everybody gonna know how nasty y'all are. Y'all filthy, y'all nasty, y'all effed up our family. She would tell me Toot, because that's my nickname, Toot. My family called me Toot. She'll be like, Toot, you nastiest H. I had sex with your dad to make you. Your dad actually put his D in my P and made you, and you can go and do something like that. Like, this is the type of stuff that she would actually like say to me, like from age 15 on up, until the time that I actually got the test done, to prove that this never happened. He never did this. But the crazy part about it is she never had a reason to even say that he did this in the first place. Now, my mom and my daddy have a favorite child, both of them, and it is my older sister. And my daddy bends over backwards for my older sister. Give her the world, do anything for her. Don't have nothing bad to say about it. Why wouldn't you, if you was going, but you shouldn't blame nothing like this on none of your kids unless you have this proof. But if you was going to do this, look like it would make more sense to say her, being that she's the child that he bends over backwards for, and to do anything under the sun for. I don't even talk to my dad. I don't talk to my dad or my mom like that. I mean, I'll communicate with them like, hey, what's up? How you doing? But having real conversations and stuff with them, never. Never. So I'm trying not to be all over the place with this conversation, y'all, but a lot has happened in just all this time because this had been going on just about all my life. Ever since I was a very little girl, I'm talking about for as long as I can remember, my mom never liked me. And I know y'all might say, what are you talking about? Your mom didn't like you. My mother hated me as a little child. As a little kid, I knew to stay out of her way. I knew not to walk close by her. I knew not to sit near her. I knew not to say nothing because everything that you say, she think you're stupid. She gonna look at you crazy. You might get hit. You might get slapped. Anything. So from a little girl, I already knew my mom didn't like me. My mom had two sets of kids. She had an older set of kids, and then me, my sister, and my brother. We were her youngest set of children. So she has like a 8, 9, 10, I think maybe 12 age gap between her two different sets of kids. So me and my brother and my sister would be in the living room playing, and she'll be maybe taking a shower or something, and she would call me in the bathroom, and I get in the bathroom. I'm talking about when I'm little, so little, probably 5, 6, 7. And she would call me in the bathroom, and she would be like, now you see that I've called you out of there. All the noise have stopped. Now all the noise is over. They not in there bumping. You don't hear no screaming. So that lets me know you're the troublemaker. You keeping all of this going. You the ringleader. You're the reason why all that noise is in here, because once I called you in here, all the noise stopped. She used to do that to me all the time when I was very little, y'all. When I tell you she did not care about us at all, we went to school bummies, looking a mess, nothing new, would never buy us anything. I didn't have money for field day t-shirts, to buy party stuff for a class party, field trips, nothing like when I tell you my childhood was trash. It was a living hell living with this woman every day of my life. I couldn't wait to grow up. So, I don't know, y'all. This is just so crazy. I just can't even believe that I'm really in front of my camera, like recording this crap. Okay. She would just mistreat me for the longest, from everything, from talking to me like a dog to saying ugly things to me, from not giving us stuff to eat. Like when she cooked, she gave me food, but like if she was out, she would buy her and my older sister, and she would buy food for my dad, like an actual plate of food, and she would give me and my other two siblings, that was her younger children, chips, a pack of chips and juice, while they eat actual food in our face. And she would order stuff for my older sister out of like magazines and stuff, and she would tell me and my brother and my sister we not getting anything because we have been misbehaving all day. Now, mind you, my sister's grown. When we were little, my sister was already like a big child because they're older than us. So she already had like big kids, but she would tell us she's not getting us anything. She's not buying us anything because we misbehaved. She just did not like me. And I know y'all maybe think I'm lying, but the whole time I'm doing this video, my heart is pounding. My heart is literally pounding in my chest. This is making me so angry to relive, but I know that it's important that I do what I need to do with this to move forward in my life. Okay, so just bear with me. If it seems like I'm all over the place, I probably is all over the place, because like I said, there's a lot that happened since then and now, and I just don't want to miss none of the details, but just bear with me, okay? So when I was younger, she treated me so bad all the way up until I was growing up. And then when she finally accused me of being sexual with my father, it all made sense why she never liked me my entire life. Now, mind you, so growing up, I was called all the names in the book by my mother, from B's to H to MFers, the FUs, to you ain't S, you ain't never gonna be S, you're nobody, I don't know why any man would want you, you're this, you're that, I can't, just all of us. She told me everything, but she flat out hated me. But she didn't have to tell me that she hated me, because it shows that you hate me. She can't stand for me to come in her presence. The mood, the energy is so weird. I can barely look at her. I can barely talk to her. I can barely speak to her. And my sister too, my older sister, I can barely talk to my sister. And I can barely talk to her because her and my mom is really, really close. And at any time, she could have stepped in and said, you know what, this is ridiculous. You need to stop. She did not. Okay. And this is my sister. My sister is older than me by like 9 years. This is my big sister. And by the time I'm 15, you know how old she is. If she's 9 years older than me, she's already a grown woman. She could have stepped in at any time and tried to be some type of solution. But she partaked in the situation so hard. She would, when my mama would stop calling me, sometimes she would get in these moods where she wouldn't call or text me for months. And then whenever she would use my sister to keep track of what's going on in my life. Like she would send my sister to call me. She would send my sister to my house just to keep, they want to keep a track on whatever you're doing in your life. So they'll know how to handle you. So they'll know how to attack you. So they'll know what's going on. They fed off of negativity, and they did this for so many years until it's so sick. They said that I was the sick one, but it shows who the sick one. Meanwhile, my sister's going around bragging about her parents, or literally just putting on a show that she has good parents. But because your parents treat you well and you have siblings and they treat your siblings like crap, that doesn't make them good parents. That make them good to you. And that still make you a shitty person, because you could sit right there and watch your sibling be hurt, be abused, be drained, and you step in and say nothing. I have a younger sister, so I know what it's all about to be a protector and a leader to your sister. I never had that growing up. My sister was straight up trash to me. Okay, she'll go out and act like she's overall good person, but at the end of the day, no. When you watching your sisters be hurt, my mama she taught my older sister not to stick up for us, not to come around us, not to be there for us, not to help us out with stuff. If we got into it with people, she'll tell my sister to stay out of it. Let us fight for ourselves and all of we had to fend for ourselves. All the older siblings that I had, it was still just me and my little sister. Me and my little sister always had my back with anything. When I used to get into it with girls in the streets, my sister had my back. My mama would make like my older sister was some princess, and she was able to no, don't follow them up there, this, there, that. Like, no, my sister, my older sister, she would not. But she would call us and try to keep the drama going. Call me and tell me what happened. If she know we had it going on, or if we was getting into something. I need to refill, put some more lip gloss on. If she knew that we had some type of beef going on and that we were going to fight or something was going on, she would never step in and say, oh, no, y'all don't do that, or I'm going to come in and let them know. No, she would be right there talking about, call me and let me know. Mind you, my sister's 9 years older than me, 12 years older than my other sister. And she would tell us to call her and let her know what happened. Not, don't do that. Not, that's not a good idea. Not, I'm going to go and see. And at one point, we were fighting grown women when we were kids. And she didn't come to our rescue, not once. She would do crazy stuff like if we needed to go someplace, and if I didn't have my car at the time, she would charge us to go right across town. If we needed to print a piece of paper out at her house and use her, use her printer to print something out for school or something, we had to pay her $2, $1, $2 for print a piece of paper. If she's going a certain way and you need, it could be the most simplest stuff, she will act, my sister. She would act totally out about my sister. She was really smart growing up. She always was smart, straight A student. So if we had something going on at school, or if I needed help with homework, or even when I got in college, if I wanted to ask her about something and I call and ask her, y'all, it could be something that she already knows the answer to off the top of her head. And she would straight up tell you. She would say, go and look it up. Go look it up. Don't be asking me. You're not going to be aggravating me about your work. If you don't know how to do your work, then you might as well just go ahead and quit. Go ahead and just drop out, because you're not going to be calling me every day asking me about how to do your work. Y'all, it could be literally one thing that I asked this girl and she would tell me to go look it up. But the tables in life have turned, and now she want to ask me a whole bunch of questions about a whole bunch of stuff that she don't know the answers to, and I tell her, go look it up. Because it never made no sense to be that way. And then to turn around and act like you don't know what you done, what you did. She will want you to go. I know I'm changing lanes for a little bit, but she played a big part in everything, all of my trauma. She would ask me to go ride with her someplace. She would go and buy an entire box of pizza, y'all, that probably has the big box with the 2 pizzas, the breadsticks, the wings, everything in it. And she won't let you get a slice out of it. She'll say, oh, I brought that because I'm not cooking today. You can't get none of it now. You ain't even asked for none. But she'll go ahead and let you know before you even think to ask her, like, you're not getting none of my food. Like, no, my big sister. We're going to get back on my mom. So she accused me and my dad. She put us through straight up HELL for all of our lives. That all I can remember. Okay. She put us through straight HELL. So finally, I went and got the lie detector test done. We had to go to Columbia. Now, my mama's one, you can't really trick her, like, to get in the car and go, because I know if I would have told her why we were going to get what we were going to do, she would have acted out and she wouldn't have wanted to do it. So, being that my older sister are very close with my mother and both my father, I told her to go and let them know, that I booked the session for us to have a lie detector test done so we can go and get this behind. My sister went crazy. Oh no, I'm not getting involved with that. Mind you, she been, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not getting involved with that. I don't want no parts of that. But y'all, since day one, she had parts in it. She was watching for my mama. She was watching at the house. She would sit to my mama's house for hours, watching, making sure that I don't come there while my mom is gone to be with my daddy, y'all. My sister, my brothers, they was doing this. Instead of saying, I'm gonna make sure my little sister's okay, and if he did this to my sister, then I'm gonna handle him. I was a child, y'all. They was accusing a child of having an affair with her father, not a grown man molesting this little girl. No, it never was that. It was y'all to mess around. Y'all ain't the sick, y'all. Come on, this shit's sick, ain't it? When you really think about it, it was never, okay, this man is doing this to this child. It was, they have a relationship going on. And he's wrong and she's wrong. But y'all, this never fucking happened. My mama will start arguing with me, and she would be arguing with me like she's arguing with a woman in the street, like, that's my man, and that's my man, and this and that third, and you ain't gonna do this, and that's my man. And oh, I swear to God, she used to just make up scenarios in her head, and then she would actually argue with me like she's arguing with a woman in the street about her man. And me and my dad don't even have a father-daughter relationship, y'all. Less more about the relationship that they were trying to say. She would argue with me like she was arguing with the enemy. Oh my Lord, y'all. This is so moving forward. We went to the place. My sister finally told my mom. She didn't tell my mama what we were going to do. She told her, oh, Tuta's going to take you guys to Columbia. She want to take you guys to Columbia. She made it seem like it was something totally different from what it was. So when we got to the place, my mom was clueless. Once we got there, I told her what was going on. We going to go ahead and do this and that. And she was like, what? No, I didn't know nothing like this. I didn't know we was coming to do nothing like that. Y'all didn't tell me that. My sister had been involved in this bull crap all this time, but then when it was time for her to be a part of the solution, she didn't want to be a part of the solution. She couldn't even sit down and talk to someone that she's close with, being my mom and my dad, and tell them straight up, this is what's going on, this is what she wants to do, and y'all got an appointment to do it. She didn't do that. She blindly sent my mama to Columbia, when all she had to do was tell her what it was. I mean, y'all close. She should understand. And she had accused me and my father of this thing for all these years. And she was not excited to be going to take a test to prove that this never happened. She wasn't excited at all. She was very mad. She was very angry on the outside of the place. So we went in. The guy, he asked us some questions. He separated them from me. I don't know if he let them stay in the same room, but he separated me from them. I had to hook up all of the stuff on my body. I don't know what it was. He just hooked me up to some machines. He asked me so many questions. Some questions didn't have anything to do with this situation. Then a lot of them did. And he just asked me a whole bunch of questions, and he told me to just answer yes or no, yes or no. And I did that. He got done, and he said to me, okay, all of the results came back that everything that you were saying was the truth. So he called my mom and my dad back in the room where I was. He took all the stuff. He unhooked me from the machines right in front of them, and then he read the results to my dad, both my dad and my mom. Well, my dad already knew what the results was going to say, because he knew he didn't do it. He knew we didn't do it. So he read the results to my mom. And why did he do that? He told her that everything that I said was true. Nothing happened whatsoever. That the test is showing that nothing whatsoever happened. Why did that man tell her that? She flipped out. She started screaming. She started yelling all the stuff that she always do. She did it right in front of that guy. She went crazy. She was talking to the top of her lungs. She cursed him out. She cursed me out. She cursed my dad out as if that's not the results that she wanted to hear. To me, it seemed like she wanted to hear that what she had been saying all along was true. Like she was disappointed. She hate me just that bad, y'all. That she was disappointed that I was telling. She was really disappointed because I was telling the truth. She went crazy on the guy. She cursed him out. She was screaming to the top of her lungs, telling him, F that, F this test. She cursed him out, me out, my dad out. Talking about, she was talking as loud as she could. She told the man that I paid him for the results. Now, I spent $600 on the actual test to have the lie detector test done. I spent that out of my own pocket to bring peace to her miserable life. Okay, she went crazy on the guy. Oh, she paid you. F this, F that. I'm out of here. As if she was mad that the result wasn't what she thought, because she know what she put us through, and she didn't want to be embarrassed. But she didn't have no problem embarrassing me in front of my family, in front of my brothers and sisters. God, I don't know who she could have told the story to. She probably could have told the story to anybody. I don't know who believes that. I don't know who she told that to. I don't know who she's ruined my character in front of. Y'all, it's crazy. So the dude that actually did the test, he was so furious. He told me he felt sorry for me. He told my dad that he felt sorry for him. He said to my mom, he told her, he was like, look, if this had happened to this girl, you would know, because the cops would have been outside waiting for him, and she would have had to decide whether or not they was going to take her dad in. He told my mom that he don't play with his practice, he don't play with his career, and that he didn't appreciate her coming up in there trying to ruin his practice by saying that he would allow somebody to pay him for results, y'all. It was just so terrible. So we finally left the lie detector place. We went and got food. I brought them something to eat. We went to a drive-through. My daddy, he stopped to another store. He got out at the store. I didn't get out. I just didn't say anything in the back. I just didn't say anything. So my daddy got out at the store. You know what my mama told me while my daddy was in the store? She said, too. She said, I know that you can't fake those tests. I know that what the man said was the right results, but I just didn't want your daddy to know that I knew the truth. And now I'm sitting here like, oh my God, you are really sick. You that sick. You don't want him to know that you believe that he didn't do it. Why would you should be happy? I feel like she should have been happy. She should have been rejoicing. She should have been. Now, she have done told my daddy for the longest that he effed up our family. He's nasty. She called him all kind of stuff. Anything that you could possibly think of, the nasty name she's called me, she's called him. Yo, this woman couldn't even apologize. She told us, F that, she ain't effing apologizing. And she recently told me she's not apologizing again. So at this point, I'm like, okay, this is really weird. So after that, she never said anything about that particular situation, but she still accuses him of all kind of women. She don't care. She accuses him of little children, little girls. Her granddaughters can't come over there. Like the little kids, she won't let the little kids talk to him. She boosts the little kids up to call him names. Their grandfather be disrespectful and rude and call him names. But the situation of her accusing me, she stopped that. But she thought it was going to go away, and she thought that we was going to just let it go away and never say anything about it. She never apologized to me. She never apologized to my dad, and she's obviously never going to. So I just don't know. And a lot of people wonder why people who've been abused for real, they don't say anything for a very long time, because it's a hurtful situation. And it didn't even happen to me, and I felt all of those effects. Like, dang, what are people going to say? What are people going to think about this? What are they going to say? Are they going to believe this? Like, it was a situation that made me feel very ashamed, very alone, very unlucky. Like, it just made me feel terrible. Like, I didn't want anybody to look at me. I didn't want to, I couldn't, like, I was ashamed just walking past one of my brothers and sisters, because this is what she told them, and they believed her. They believed her for a very long time, and they believed her all the way up. And I didn't even have too many conversations with them about it up until I had the test, because I wanted to get the test so that I could feel comfortable. Just I didn't want to talk to them about it and not knowing what they truly believe. Okay, that would have been very uncomfortable for me. So now that I've taken the test, it's more easier for me to, feel like I can defend myself. So I remember when my brothers, they started saying that my mom was just crazy, and they believed everything that she said about me. But I noticed once she started accusing their girlfriends and their baby mothers of sleeping with my dad, that's when it got to she's crazy now. Up until then, they was watching for her, watching me, doing all this crazy stuff, treating me like, oh, you gotta watch out for her. My mama literally accused all of their girlfriends and their baby mamas of sleeping with my dad. And that's when they wasn't having it then. That's when she became crazy to them. That's when they wanted to slowly just apologize to me. She caused trouble in their homes with their families. She actually have argued with some of my brother's girlfriends and their baby mothers. And then that's when my brothers finally started telling me, like, we didn't believe that. We didn't believe that you did that. Like, we know that was a lie, but it's not true. They did believe it because they were partaking in the situation, trying to sneak up on me, or watching the house, or watching my house, or watching my dad. Just all this weird stuff, y'all, that went on that was just so crazy. Like, they did believe it. And once, I guess they baby mothers, they girlfriends wasn't like that. I guess they not even gonna worry about that, because they just know it wasn't true about their girlfriends, but they had to second guess just about their little sister. But when it came down to their girlfriends, oh no, it can't be true. Yeah, she's crazy. And for that reason, like, I love my family, but I don't too much like to talk to them, because sometimes that be okay. But then sometimes I think about, what happened, and I'm like, I just kind of want to be alone. I just don't want to talk to you. Like, sometimes, like, I hate that it happens, but it do, because this is like really my real life, and this is like my story and what happened to me. And sometimes I get very angry about the situation. And what makes me the most angry is when one of my brothers or my sister, not my little sister, my baby sister, she gonna always have my back. I ain't even gotta worry about her. But when one of my siblings call me and they be like, oh, I'm making sure you good. I'll make sure I don't have to F nobody up about you. I'm making sure you straight. And I be like, you don't watch me suffer all my life. And now I'm a successful woman, y'all, doing so well in life right now. Like, I've graduated from college twice. I have, my house is paid for, and my nice 2-story big beautiful home. All of my cars are paid for. Business is booming. I'm just learning so much and helping so many people with just being an overall positive person, and I'm successful. I'm successful, and everybody know from where I'm from. They know it. Like, I'm one of the successes that came from where I'm from, and all of the stuff. I really do feel like it played a major part in my success. Like, maybe, excuse me, like, if all the stuff wouldn't have happened to me, maybe I wouldn't have went so hard. Like, maybe I wouldn't have went after everything that I wanted if this never happened to me. I don't know, but I do know that I'm a success. And despite that all the odds was against me, I was down. I've been put down at home before anybody in the world ever had a chance to put me down. So that made me really, really strong and really, really tough. And that made me know that you can do, like, if I got through this, anybody can. So it was always seemed like I was older than my older sister, even though that I was younger than her, and a good bit younger than her. I moved out my mama's place, and I got my own place when I was 18. I had got an apartment because I always knew that I would need something to fall back on, because I knew that my parents they wasn't too fond of me. So when I was in high school, I was signing up for apartments so that I have an apartment available. And for me, when I finished school, and thank God they called me a week after graduation, and I had my own place. And my sister would always seem like she was bothered when People would say something about me having my own place, being that she was still living with my mom, and she always just felt like that bothered her. Like, you could see the look on her face, it's like it was aggravating her that people would, people make comments on things. And she just was my little mama, little sidekick, just following my mom around and just do and say crazy stuff about people. And she would always just say weird things to me that just seemed out of the norm for your older sister to say to you. For instance, she told me, she used to always say, "Oh, if you had a Facebook, I would always be on there because I know it'll be full of drama." I just don't think that's something positive for your older sister to tell you, like, "Oh, your Facebook page." You should be saying the total opposite to your sister. She would go on and on. She always used to say things like, as you know, I was a mother young, so a lot of the time I would go places with my friends and stuff, but there never was a day that I didn't see my daughter. And she would say this line to me, and she said it often when she wanted to. And she would always say, "Oh, when your daughter grow up, she's going to be able to write a book and title it Mommy Was There, but Mommy Wasn't There." And I just found that really rude, really disrespectful, and unkind, and something that should have never came from your older sister. She would also often say, "Okay, my little girl, she's just the prettiest thing." And she always was a pretty little girl since she was really little. And I would always say my daughter was pretty. I would be like, "Oh, Noni, you so pretty. Oh, you such a pretty girl." And that seemed to bother her when I would say that to my daughter. And she would tell me, "Oh, yeah, she's pretty. But if you have another baby by the boy that I was with at the time," which I'm still with, but she would say, "If you have a baby by him, that baby is going to be ugly. He going to look just like her sister with them pop eyes." And I have a child, and my son is very handsome. But she would always say that, "Yeah, Shy is pretty, but if you have another baby by such and such, that one ain't gonna be pretty. That one gonna be ugly." And that's an ugly thing for her to say. This comes from my older sister. And it's something that she would do constantly. She would had this thing where she would talk to people purposely that did not like me. And she would tell me, like, whenever a conversation would come up, she'd be like, "Oh, they don't talk to you, but I think that's just with you because they talk to me." Like, she thought it was something funny that somebody didn't like me but would conversate with her. But then once people stopped liking her because she was my sister and because she was related to me, then that's when she tried to come on my side and be like, "Oh, they don't like me either, but I think it's because of you." And I think that's just weird. You shouldn't be trying to make like you so good and cool. If somebody don't like your sister, if somebody do something to hurt your sister, you should be upset, not trying to talk to those people or going along talking to those people saying, "Oh, well, they don't like me, they just don't like you." And I have been living in another state now, going on 4 years. This is like my fourth year moving, and my sister or my mom or my dad have yet to come to my house to visit. They have not been here yet, and that's okay with me because they don't have to come. I'm not even interested in it at this point. I don't even want them to come at this point. But that just goes to show you that there's a obvious, it's obvious that they don't care for me. But that's cool too, because at the end of the day, when God is for you, nobody can be against you. So my mama, she hated the fact that I would conversate with my sister. See, my dad, he had an outside child at one point, and I didn't have a problem with my sister. Like, that's not my fault that I have a sister or whatever. And she would often tell me, my mother, when I was younger, "Oh, you better not take this baby to her house, because if you do and I find out that she had this baby, I'm going to call the DSS on you." And she threatened me with that several times. She just would say anything just to, I don't know, think that she was being cool, and just was being ugly. She pulled up to my apartment one day, guys, and she was like, "Oh my goodness," because I stayed in an apartment. So, and back at home in apartments, people just used to hang out the door, chill, minding their own business. And she pulled up one day and asked me to come outside. I came out to talk to her, and she was like, "Oh my goodness, how do you live here? How do you live out here?" Now, mind, she stayed down the road in a house. Ain't no better than my apartment. Only difference is ain't no bigger than my apartment. Her house probably could fit inside of my apartment. And the only difference was she paid rent and I didn't, because it was the apartments. But it's just the ugly things that she would just do, just purposely just try to say take little jabs, that just stuff that just was not cool. And now they're trying to figure out like why I don't really want to talk to them or be associated with them like that. Like they want you to forget about all the emotional distress, the trauma, the all the heartache, pain that they put you through, and they want you to just forget about it, and they don't want you to bring up the past, because deep down inside they knew, and they still know now, that the way they treated me was wrong, and the things that they say to people is wrong. My mama, she go around and she straight up bully people. She tries to say stuff to people, to women, about their weight, failed relationships or marriages, anything that she could just pick with people about, she would do that. My sister sit right there and don't tell her no better, and that's not cool to go around trying to ask people about things that you feel like they're uncomfortable talking about, or it's something that you feel like they failed in life. That's ugly. And mind you, they can't talk about nobody, not nobody. She went far enough as to buy me a shirt at one point that said the B word on it. And I forget what the shirt, read word from word, but I know it was maybe something like I'm that B, or this B that doesn't. I don't know. I just know it had the word B on the shirt, and I know it was something that she wouldn't dare wear. And I don't understand why she thought it would be a good idea to buy me a shirt that says that, and I let her know right then and there, like, where am I gonna wear that shirt? Like, and then she tried to laugh it off, like, oh, I know you be cursing. Oh, you be cursing too, but you're not gonna wear that shirt, even if you say something funny, because as girls we say stuff like that. But I just found that really odd, that your big sister, who wouldn't even dare put nothing like that on, will give you such a gift. That just was funny to me. It just didn't sit well with my spirit. We all went on a girls trip, me, her, and my younger sister. And at one point during the trip, I actually went with her. She wanted me to go with her. And at one point during the trip, I heard her on the phone with one of her friends talking about me and my sister. I actually heard her with my own two ears on the phone talking about us to someone. Another time when she made me feel uncomfortable was when I first told her about, I was leaving South Carolina and I was moving to Georgia, and I had brought a new house. And when I told her, she immediately started crying. She didn't explain her tears. She just started crying. And it wasn't a cry like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Because if that was the case, she would have said, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. But she just was crying and was like, no, y'all moving. Like, I just that just didn't feel, it just felt very weird to me. It made me feel very out of place, and I didn't know what the hell was going on. Like, I thought I just told you something great. And when all us was younger, when me and my sister, we was younger, and I had already had my baby, or either pregnant with my daughter. My little sister was not allowed to come in the room with me. And I didn't know that until one night my sister came in the room trying to chill with me, and my little sister came in the room trying to chill with me. And my older sister, she jumps up going, knocking on my mother's room door. Oh, Mandy is trying to go in the room with two. Mandy trying to go in there with two. She back in that room with her. So they had this little operation going on where they didn't want my little sister to be around me, y'all. They had like a little teen thing going on that I didn't know anything about. I will only find out when they start acting out about certain stuff. So they really built me and my younger sister bond by trying to keep us apart. They didn't want us to be around each other. They tried to keep her away from me. And then when they found out, when they saw how close we was, that's when they started treating her the same way that they treat me. So they started treating her crazy because she was close with me, and she wasn't allowed to come in my room. And it was crazy because we were younger, and of course every little sister wanted to be around the older sister. My older sister was just still in the house, like, and she was like, it's time for you to be moved while you still stay here. And she would just be at the house, just keeping trouble going on. Instead of trying to solve the problem, she would just keep trouble going on. Like, Mom, Mandy ain't in the room, she's in there with two. Like, really? Mind you, at this point, she was in her 20s, and I'm talking like 25, 26, 27 years old, and still acting like that. She would come with my mom to the teen parties to try to find me. Teen parties. She would pull up to the teen parties with my mama to try and find me at different times. And recently a conversation came up about it, and she called with me. A conversation came up with me and my mom about it, and my mama must have told her about the conversation me and she had. And she called me and she was like, oh, why you told my such and such about me looking for you with her when you were younger? That's what a big sister is supposed to do. Girl, please, you sit right there and watch me being abused, violated, talked to like a dog. You watch me fight with other girls and all kind of other stuff, and you didn't have my back then. You wasn't doing big sister duties then. So don't try to make it seem like you was looking out for me, because you wasn't, because you was a part of the abusing that happened to me when I was growing up. So don't try to make it like, oh, I was looking for you with mom because that's the right thing to do. No, that wasn't the case. That's what you want to put it to now, because you know how crazy you was looking doing that stupid stuff. Like, when I tell you guys, this has been a roller coaster. It really have been a roller coaster. Like, I can't even tell y'all in this one video, like, all the things that I had to go through. My mom hated me. Like, she could not stand my guts when I was pregnant with my son. Oh my God, y'all. She always was the type of mother that would try to mess up special things that were going on in my life. So if I was having something special going on, if I was having fun, she was going to try her best to ruin it. So when I was pregnant with my son, I never knew that she thought this, because I have been in the same relationship for, oh my God, forever. And when I say ever and ever, I'm talking about ever and ever. So when I'm pregnant with my son, all the way up until I was 8 months, she didn't really talk to me that much, but she didn't find out I was pregnant until I was like 4 months. I think like 4 months. So I think it was like 4 months. And my sister, she told her that, like, it's not your place to tell nobody else's story. I'm gonna throw this in real quick, because my sister, she was involved like always with with the BS. Like, so she came to my house one day and she saw some baby onesies hanging in my closet, and she was like, who's that for? Who baby? You brought somebody baby something? And I was like, I brought something for my baby. And she was like, your baby? You having a baby? And I was like, yeah. And I was just like, yeah. She left my house. Next thing I know, everybody know that I'm pregnant. I didn't even get the chance to tell everybody myself, because she just came to my house, saw the baby clothes, asked me about it. I told her, and she went and told everybody. Okay, back to my mom. When I was pregnant with my son, all the way up until like 8 months, when I got 8 months pregnant, my mama called me, because that's how she would usually get arguments started with me. I never was started with her. She would always call me and just act like I hope y'all can hear me, because somebody's calling me. She would call me and act like I'm angry with her. Oh, that's how she gets her. So that's how my mom will always get it started with me. She'll make like I'm acting mad at her. So at 8 months pregnant, your daughter is 8 months pregnant. And women, if I got any women watching, you know how tough it is being pregnant. And when I was pregnant with my son versus my daughter, I was really small when I was pregnant with my daughter. Like, my belly, you couldn't even really tell I was pregnant. But when I was pregnant with my son, like, my stomach was really, really big, and it was just like so big, and I was so tired all the time. So, and I was sick a lot, just trying to get through the pregnancy. So at 8 months pregnant, in my third trimester, my mama called me and started the biggest argument with me ever. And y'all wouldn't believe what she said. And I couldn't even believe that she believed what she was saying to me. She actually told me that I had done effed up really bad. She said, you effed up like that. So that's what you done did? You done effed up like that? You done effed around and got pregnant by your dad. So now I'm on the phone like, what? Is you serious right now? Like, get off my phone. Everybody is going to know. That's what she was saying on the other end of the phone. Everybody's going to know. You think people ain't going to know? People going to know who that baby look like. She was like, you effed up so bad. You that much of an effed up person that you are going out here and get pregnant by your daddy. You stupid. You a slut. You just like, I was everything on the phone. Like, I felt like she was trying to make me sick. Like, she know I was pregnant. You know you can't be putting pregnant people through that kind of stress and stuff. And at 8 months pregnant, she called me on the phone and literally told me that I was pregnant by my daddy, and that I had effed up, and everybody was gonna know, and all this crazy stuff. And y'all, after that, I did not talk to my mother for months after. I didn't talk to her again until after I had my baby, y'all. I was 8 months pregnant. When a woman is pregnant, a woman needs whoever she's pregnant about. She needs her mother. She was not there for me. She called me and tried to make me sick, tried to stress me out. She tried to stress me out during my pregnancy, and I was like, geez. So once I actually had my baby, and I had my baby boy, you know, I was in the hospital. She knew I was in the hospital because my sister knew. My older sister, her little partner in crime, she would call. She would do all the dirty work, all the leg work for my mom. So she would do all the call. If she knew me and my mama got into it, she'd do all the calling, trying to make like she want to know this, so she can go and report back to my mom about everything. So she knew I was in the hospital. She did not call that hospital to check on me. She did not come to that hospital to check on me. Once I got home with that baby, she did not call me, and I lived like 2 minutes. I lived at the time like 2 minutes away from her. She did not come see her grandson. She did not see my baby, y'all. She saw my son. My son was big. My son was a big baby. And when she saw him, he was going into 2 months. And my mama lived right across town, right across, literally minutes from my apartment when I was living in South Carolina. Minutes. She didn't come see my baby. She didn't want to see him because she did not want to see it, because she was convinced, she had already convinced herself that my son was my dad's kid. She was saying my sister. My sister came over to see her. I'll never forget it. My sister came to see my baby for the first time. Remember, my sister does all the dirty work for my mama. Oh, he looked like, and she would say his daddy name. He looked like him. He looked like him. Oh, yeah, he looked like him. You know, just getting a report, taking pictures and all. And I know she was taking pictures of my baby so she could go and show them to my mama, because my mama was a coward. And she was a coward as well. And she would just do all this stupid leg work, following up this circus show that her and my mama had going on. So now, they used to talk about me. My mom and my sister, they was my first bullies. They used to sit around and talk to each other and try to make it seem like everybody else was just terrible people and that they was just some angels. So, but at this point in life, like, I'm very successful and I'm doing what I want to do with my life. So now they try, like, they used to talk, they would find anything in the world to talk about me. But now, y'all, it went from, you ain't nothing, you ain't nobody, you mess with your dad, to this, to that. And now I'm doing so well and I'm excelling so much in life, they don't have anything to say about me. So now they have started something new. I don't believe in God. That's what they attacked me with lately. My mama, she told me that. Oh, where y'all getting all this, like acting like y'all don't believe in God? Man, I don't even know where that come from, y'all. Y'all, if you know me personally, you know that I believe in the Most High. I believe in that higher power. I believe in that higher source. I believe in the Creator. I may believe in certain things a little different from how they believe in things, but I believe in that. I believe in God. And I felt very, very mad to know that they was trying to pin something like that on me. And I know everything that my mama says. My sister is her sidekick, so I know my sister was saying that too, or either let my mama, or once again, say all this reckless stuff and don't step in and correct her. I noticed something about my sister. My sister would call me on the phone and we would talk about all kind of things. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm gonna fill your cup, I bet you. Even if you never tell me that I filled your cup up and I inspired you and motivated you to go do things with your life that you wouldn't have never done, I know I do. So me and my sister would sit on the phone and we would have all kind of conversations, and God was one of them. And I would tell her the good scriptures and she would tell me scriptures, and we would share scriptures and stuff with each other. But what I did notice is whenever she was around my mama and I tried to say something to her about God, she wouldn't talk to me about God when she was in the presence of my mom. And I found out why. She wouldn't talk to me about God in the presence of my mom, because they were behind my back saying that I didn't believe in God, y'all. And now they have moved. Now me and my mama got into it not on Christmas. On Christmas, she showed out on Christmas. She argued with my daddy because me and my dad and my little sister were at the dinner table. And my dad was just talking to us. We were just talking about stuff, having a good time. But she don't like for us to talk to my dad, so she got mad. And she went crazy on Christmas. And I actually recorded her. I have a clip of her going crazy on Christmas. And she was mad because I didn't buy her a gift on Christmas. And I'm going to tell you why I didn't buy her a gift. But she went crazy on Christmas, went and told my daddy all kind of nasty, disrespectful stuff right in front of my son, which is her right in front of her little grandson. My little boy sitting right there and she was cursing, saying all those nasty curses that she always does. And she said that she was arguing on Christmas because my daddy wasn't talking to her and haven't talked to her all week. Then all of a sudden he knew how to talk when we come. So she was mad that he was talking to us. So yesterday, yesterday, I had to go down to South Carolina to take my son's friend home because my son's little friend was down here staying with him for the break, so I had to go take him back home. I didn't want to go to my mom's house because I already know my mom was acting really weird on Christmas. She didn't want to give us nothing to eat, me and my younger sister. She don't like me and my younger sister. She didn't even give us nothing to eat. She made like she didn't have any more food. But then I saw her coming out the back with plates which she had already fixed for my brothers. So she just simply didn't want to give us nothing to eat. Okay, she didn't want us to have anything to eat. So I actually tried to avoid going to her house yesterday. I went by my auntie's house and talked to my daddy. Then my sister happened to call me while my older sister, she happened to call me while I was down. And I told her I had some things for the kids. And so I was going to just go ahead and drop them off to her. So I went by her house. I dropped them off. I had some things in my bag for my brother children too, because my brother kids always go to my mama house. So I was going to really just tell her to hand them to my mama so she can give them to the other kids. But she told me once I gave her kids stuff out the bag, she was like, okay, well, you can just take that to my mama house and give it to her because they go over there all the time. Now that was her way of telling me don't give it to me to take over there because I'm not going to take it. You can take it over there yourself if you got something for somebody else. But like I told you, her and my mom is close. So if my mama had all that going on Christmas, my mama done told her some stuff. And if she was acting up and didn't want us to be around on Christmas, of course me going over there is going to stir up something because there's always something with my mama. So my sister was like, well, you can just take that on over there to her. So I did. I didn't get out of the car. I let my little sister go and take this stuff in. She came to the door and she was like, hey, I want to talk to y'all for a minute. So she came outside, y'all, and she was like, why didn't you guys buy me nothing for Christmas and y'all brought everybody else something? Now, mind you, my mama called us before Christmas, trying to be slick like she always is. She called me a few days before Christmas. Oh, hey, I just want to let y'all know not to buy me anything for Christmas because I got enough stuff. If y'all going to give me something for Christmas, give me some money. First of all, that's not what you do. Whatever somebody give you is what you take. You don't demand what you want, and you don't demand money from nobody. And you don't ask people for money around Christmas time anyway, knowing that they have children and a family to provide for. So when she told me that, the moment she told me not to buy her anything for Christmas, just give her some money, I already made up in my mind right then. I wasn't going to give her anything because who do you think you are? Why do you feel like you're entitled to stuff when you didn't do anything but the bare minimum for us even when we was kids? So I didn't buy her anything for Christmas. So that's probably why she didn't want to give us no food. So she came out the door and she was like, y'all didn't give me anything for Christmas. That hurt my feelings. I'm trying to figure out why you acting like that. You acting like you got something against your mama. You don't have no reason to be mad at me. And I said, yes, I do. I have plenty of reasons to be mad at you. And I brought up the situation with her accusing me and my dad of having sexual relations, and I actually have that on video, and I'm gonna let you guys hear a clip of it at the end. So she was like, why are you even bringing that up? I'm not talking about that. I ain't saying nothing to you about that. You need to leave that alone. I done left that alone. Why have you left that alone? Because you knew that you couldn't prove and back up what you've been saying all these years. You knew that you was going around all these years trying to make it seem like I was a terrible person. And now that life and over time has proven that all those nasty things that you said about me wasn't true, that I wasn't worth nothing and I wasn't good for nothing and I wasn't going to be nothing. You see, this all not true. And everybody sees the truth. Everybody know what's going on. Everybody know that she was a winner. She was a conqueror. She was strong. She did do well, even though everybody told her that she wouldn't. She hate the fact that I'm a success, y'all. She hate it. She hate the fact that I'm a success. And she also hate the fact that she accused me of something that down low and that she was proven to be the liar and the sick person in the situation. She don't like that. So, of course, she don't want me to bring that up. She want me to let it go. She want me to let her live her life in peace, even though she made mine miserable. Even though she put me through hell. She said that I was a demon and that the demons and the devil was taking over me and that I'm letting my money get to my head. She mentioned stuff about my cars and my houses and she just went crazy on me, y'all. She told me I'm letting money go to my head. I never even talk about my house with them. I never talk about money with them. I never even mention material things around them. They see the stuff when I come around. And so they feel some type of way about it because they know that they thought that I wasn't going to be anything and that I wasn't going to have nothing going on in my life. And they tried to make like one of their kids was all this and that and the rest of them was just worthless. And I proved them wrong and she's mad about it. And now, y'all, now my mama telling me my money is going to my head. That's what my mom is doing now. And she's serious about it. But this never happened before. Before I started getting really, really successful, they never said nothing to me about money and material things. Never. But now all of a sudden, I don't believe in God. Now all of a sudden money's getting to my head. She even went as far enough to tell me that I'm crazy. I cut everybody off so easily. She told me that I'm going around cutting people off. And I don't cut nobody off, y'all. I cut people off who I feel like cross me. If you disturbing my peace, if I can't grow from you, if I feel like you are not pouring into me, then no, I'm not going to keep relationships with friends who betray me and stuff. I'm not. She expect me to continue to talk to friends that did me wrong, did the most terrible things, people who I have been there for my entire life. She wants me to talk to those people, and you know why she want me to talk to those people? Because she want to see me do bad, and she know if I got people in my life that's draining me, they're doing a plus for her. She even mentioned some things about people, friends that I'm no longer friends with, and why I'm the problem and why I should have never cut them off. She want me to have people in my life that's going to disturb my peace and take from me. That's my son in the background yelling, y'all. Just ignore him. But she wants me to be involved with people who she know will keep me from moving ahead in life. And I think all of that is weird. She brought this stuff up to me. I'm going to let y'all hear. But wherever she calls somebody's name, I'm going to try to blurt that out, beat that out, because I don't want other random people names being called, just because she was mad. But I am going to let you guys hear the clip. I'm going to let y'all hear, what she said, how she's not going to apologize, how she's not sorry, how she didn't do anything to anyone, how she said the devil is attacking me and all this crazy stuff, y'all. But if there's anybody, I feel like I just done drug this video out too long. If there's anybody out here going through anything similar, keep your head up, keep going after your dreams. You're strong, you're a conqueror, you're surviving, you're going to get through it. I got through it, y'all, and I'm on top. I had people to tell me that I'll never be nothing and my life will never amount to nothing, and I'm doing better than all of those people who ever told me that. I'm in a better position than any of them. All of those people who tried to put me down, y'all, I'm in a better position. And God said it, that he will make your enemies your footstool and that he will prepare a table before you in the presence of your enemies. So y'all keep that in mind. Don't y'all let nobody steal your joy, and don't let nobody make a suggestion for you of what your let the negative things that they're trying to tell you about your life, don't let that be your reality, because what they think about you is not your reality. You get to choose what you want to do with your life, and you get to choose your reality. Okay, I'm Storm Lyric on everything. Y'all go check out my content. If y'all have any questions, please let me answer them. Just ask me right in the comment section. If you had a similar situation, tell me about it. Just share this video, like it, and I'll see y'all again. I can't, it's so much stuff that I could tell y'all, but I'm just gonna end it right here. I love y'all. Thank y'all for listening. I appreciate everybody who supports this channel, and just be good, y'all. Be the very best version of yourselves, and don't let anybody take that from you. I don't care who they are. Don't let anybody steal your joy. Oh, I don't hate any of them. I'm not mad at any of them. This is just my story. This is what happened to me. And this is when people do things to you, they think they do it and then it's over. But you never know how long something is hurting a person, or how long a person has to deal with trauma from the things that you've done to them or said to them when they expected more from you. But I learned early on in life from those situations to just don't expect anything from anyone, not even your mama. So when I was younger, I would always sleep a lot because I would always be stressed out. I would always feel tired and drained. So I slept most of the day. And my mom and my sister, my older sister, they had this thing where they would try and pick with you, and they would say this all the time. Oh, if you was an animal, you would be a turtle. Slumpy, you would be a turtle. If you was an animal, you would be a turtle. And that was their joke. That's the joke. But we all know that the turtle ain't the last person to win the race. They would get in the car around me and my younger sister and tell each other stuff like, oh, my mama, she would tell my older sister, hey, remind me to tell you something later. Remind me. I'm gonna tell you something later. Remind me now. Just remind me to tell you later. Like we were some type of strange people, and some people, they had to bite their tongue in front of keep some type of secret thing going on. It was just the obvious bullying for me.
Like that, that's why that makes me mad. Because I begged you for money. And you told me, I ain't supposed to take care of your fucking ass. Look, dude.
As you shouldn't be.
Dude, look. Leroy came in the house last night.
You think you're a gangster?
I said, God ain't sleep. I said, God hear you. Know what Leroy told me? I cut Jesus' motherfucking head off. God ain't forgot you say.
Jesus in the first one.
God ain't the first one, that's the Lord's son. And because of Jesus Christ, we live. God gave his only begotten son so we can live. That's what the Lord said.
That's what you did.
You get it all, or how long you be getting it all? God damn it. Look at here. No. I ain't trying to be funny. You get all the shit, don't you? If you stay out the street and leave, they don't only get it. I won't know you in this house unless I look.
Yeah, you done set up.
Oh, ain't no set up, Leroy. You ought to quit trying to get credit when you don't deserve it.
I don't need no credit.
You sure don't. Not with me.
I'm
you
69.
Ain't never trying to
I'm 69 years old. I mean, what you argue with me about?
Ain't nobody argue with you.
A man 69. What you argue with me?
No,
I'm 69.
Women, I'm in the car with you. Women hollering down. Hey. They didn't know I'm in the damn car. I stopped what? Oh, I'm sorry. You go ahead. I said, what you hollering this speaker down for? Why you hollering to your open? You know the washroom was right there.
Women come in the
and I used to find literally in my living in my kitchen. I used to find calm on the chair, the little swivel chair that could turn around in the room. So many people been in my goddamn.
Where you been?
In my chair.
Well, where you been?
In the bed, sleep at night.
Man,
and I left my damn house to go. I wish you might.
You was in the room sleep.
Yeah.
You.
He told me. But if all them thousands and thousands and thousands of women you done cheat within 45 years, if all them big cop things ain't killed you, you survived my one.
No, you see, you look at loaded and dark. And one of them get you, I live long. I live 10 more years.
If all them women ain't killed you,
10 more.
If all them women ain't killed you, them many women. I ain't but one.
You get in front of people.
I ain't but one. I ain't but one. You try to insult me.
And you try to insult me in front of my own
children. And telling me about I don't do this. Talking to me a little bit right now, trying to calm you so you can think you ain't talking. What that got to do with your damn mouth? It's working.
69
it's working.
I mean,
don't be telling me, I don't tell you, yeah, I give him this and that for that. No, see, you too bigger than that. You run your mouth, but then you can't.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? That it's actually Christmas Day, and this is the same thing I remember. This is the same thing I remember for Christmas. This is the same thing I remember for Christmas all my life.
Quit shaking that old big head.
Seriously, stop that yelling and stuff. This is the same thing.
You need to shut up.
All this yelling, y'all do this every day?
You need to shut up.
This what y'all do every day?
Nah, he don't talk to me. I tell you, too.
There's not
if you a man to walk out this
to.
house, you know what? I'm ready. I want you to get this through your big head. I want y'all to know if God said it, it's true, and to y'all the Lord said, before his word shall fail. Now I'm going to make sure Leroy don't get my food sold out. I'm sitting right there on that bench. The Lord said, before his word shall fail, and that's what he gives parents for. To teach his children till he come back. The right thing. The Lord said, for his word shall fail, that's what give me strength. All my strength comes from the Lord. I'm going to be straight with you. If I didn't know the Lord, you would have been done killed me dead.
Who's you?
I'm talking about y'all what do this to me. Get mad at me and want me to want to look at me.
How you figure what you don't do could have been done killed?
You because I'm your mother and because I teach y'all right. And you know what? I'm tired of people blaming me for their downfall.
No, you blame me for your downfall.
Look, I knew God.
You blame me for your downfall.
And you know what?
I don't have any downfalls. I feel like I did pretty good. Knowing that the odds was against me, I did pretty good.
You know what, man? Let me see that.
I don't have downfalls.
Let me see that. That you? No. Yeah, no, leave my food alone. No.
That's not trash. She said leave that one alone. So I don't know what you're talking about. It seems
No,
like
I just didn't
we
understand.
blaming you for our downfalls. We don't
I
have
didn't say
downfalls.
nothing about
We
no
winning.
downfalls. Listen to me.
Well, what are you saying?
I'm talking about every time. There's nothing for you to be mad. You know.
Oh yeah, there's something for me to be mad. Oh, there's plenty for me to be mad. Starting with the situation with Leroy.
I didn't call Leroy name. I said
You
don't let
I
him.
said,
I said don't let him hear what we talking about because it's not his business.
You said we don't have no reason to be mad, and I
No.
said yes, I did.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do. Starting with the situation with Leroy.
What situation?
Please stop playing dumb, playing
What
laws.
situation? Ain't nobody saying nothing in here to you.
You ain't had to say nothing in here. You been said it. You done said it.
Saying
time
what?
after time.
That ain't got
What
nothing
you
to do
been
with
saying
that.
forever.
That shit been solved.
How so?
And you know what? When
When
you
it got
you
solved?
carried me up, I ain't talking about that because that
When
ain't
it-
what
when
that
did it
was
get
about.
solved?
If that was what that was about, too,
When it
that
got
done been
solved?
solved.
No,
You
it
know
ain't.
where?
It ain't
You
got
know
solved.
what?
You ain't
know-
even told that man apologies. You didn't
Two.
apologize to me.
Two.
You abused your
Two.
child since day one. You can go ahead
I'ma
and get out.
that,
You
'cause-
can't feel it,
'cause
handle
Lake-
it.
'cause
Get
Lake-
on out.
Lake Mama
Get
told
on
you.
out.
Lake Mama told you. Long as the Lord know.
See,
God
when
ain't
people,
going. God ain't going. I'ma let you
when
talk.
people say you did all this, that, and the third to them, and when you done prove that they lied on you,
No, you ain't
and they tried to make
I
you
ain't
look
going
bad
back
in
to
front
that.
of people,
'Cause that
and
what that was about.
No, you tried to destroy my name. You tried to destroy our character. You
we
told us
destroy
how.
ourselves, but
You
I ain't gonna talk
told me.
about
You
that.
told me.
You
and
know why I
Leroy,
ain't
your
gonna talk about
underage
that?
child. You
Two.
told us how you was gonna shame us in front of everybody,
Two.
and we was nasty,
I don't even
and
know.
we was this, and we was that, and you had no proof, and you had no reason to say that in the first place, and you ruined your own family. You try to say Leroy ruined your family. You try to say this man abused his child, and that's not true, and it never happened. And you made up that lie,
from?
and
Why
you told
back
that
on
to
that?
all my brothers and sisters.
Why you
and
got
you
that
had
back?
all of
Which
my
that
brothers
ain't
and
got nothing to do with that.
Say
We
what
done
you wanna
had
say.
plenty good times since that.
Say what you want to say.
You done brought me plenty gifts since that.
Go ahead, get
so
your wife out here.
evidently, it's not a problem.
It's a
if it was a problem,
It is a problem.
and if it's making you so mad,
It's
you
making me
wouldn't
mad
have
right
never
now.
give me a quarter.
It's making
you
me mad right
would have
now.
never bought
No, I'm
me
not
a
that
gift.
type of person.
Don't try. You just done it like a fool Christmas Day, and now you don't know how to come
Get
back
your
out
wife
the
out here.
cold.
No,
Now,
just like I
watch here.
said, you didn't
No,
apologize
you
for everything you ever did, and that's
all
that.
you want.
And that's for
Going
you
on
too,
about your
Leroy.
business. Ain't nobody talking to you.
No, I'm telling. It ain't
Going
about
on
what
about
you
your
done.
business.
It's about what you didn't do that you
Now,
let
I'm
her
too big,
accuse you
'cause
of
you
doing,
see,
and you
I
never
don't
say nothing
care.
about it.
You can say anything you want. You was not mad with me too.
Please,
And
I
I'm
ain't
not
mad
mad
at you
with
now.
you.
But what
and
happened
you cannot
to me?
blame
But
me
what
for
happened
nothing,
to
and
me?
that ain't what this
happened
is
to me,
about.
and you not woman enough to apologize. You're not
I
woman
ain't gonna
enough.
apologize.
You don't have to.
This ain't what you was talking about.
You don't have to apologize.
This ain't what you got
don't have to.
Your money ruining you, boo.
Ooh, my money ruined me.
We ain't saying nothing about this.
Like I
what that
said,
was
you
about.
accused me and Leroy of some nasty. Matter of fact, at the end of the day, you accused me of having sexual relationships with my father. And even if that was true, you shouldn't have been accusing me of anything because I was your child. So you know that let me know about you. You would have let your man abuse me and you still would have stayed and laid up with him, even if it was true. Because that's what kind of woman you is. You want to try to make it seem like I was nasty and I was no good and you had no reason to do it.
Where's this coming from? This ain't nobody discuss that no more.
It came from you. I'm
ain't nobody
discussing
discuss that no more. And if you was so mad about that, let me tell you something.
You want me to?
I don't have nothing to worry about.
Go ahead and get on out.
You know what I told Leroy?
Go ahead and get out.
I told Pissy this year. I told all of y'all.
You heard what I told her?
You
heard what I told her?
I see the things
she accused us of doing what we did, what she said we did, right? She never apologized to you.
Keep walking.
She said you ruined your family. Don't
keep
let her do that.
Because I don't know what you're talking about.
She said that you.
She said mess up my new year.
She said
Get
that
on
you
in the
abused
house.
your child.
Don't let it go.
Don't
go
let
on
it
in the house.
Don't
That's
let
all
it go.
right. Go on.
Don't
Ain't
let it
nobody
go.
talking about that.
That's what she did,
in the house, honey.
Okay.
Ain't nothing wrong with me. You all know where she coming from.
Oh, ain't nothing wrong with y'all today.
Yeah.
But last
See,
time you got mad
trying
because
to
me and Maple sitting to the
trying
table
to
talking to
You
him.
trying to throw my
No.
day and my year with
You
don't
come
let
back
that
here.
money run you fool too.
Please, you can say that's y'all
Remember
new.
where you
That's
came
y'all.
from?
That's y'all new line now.
Remember where you came
That's y'all
from.
new line now. What that's supposed to be some type of I hope you fall line.
Who
10
the
years
devil eating pull
old.
toot up?
But guess what?
You better stop.
Guess what?
You
That's
dumb
over
people
for me.
and
I
pick
sure
people
do.
up.
If you ain't good for me,
I end the video here because at this point she started calling random people's names and other situations that doesn't need to be on this video. But this is my story and this is what happened to me, and I appreciate everyone who took the time out to listen to my story.